what are you doing in crypto or the stock market if your main purpose isn't to make money?
But no, I feel like no matter what happens, I'm gonna hold strong, I'm gonna hold tough, and yeah, we're gonna just kind of, you know, diamond hand through it.
What's going on, penny boys and gals? What's going on, stock traders? This is What the Duck here. I'm here with Amma Jamma, who also known as Amy, our crypto analyst. How's it going, Amy?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good, good. So thanks for joining us. We're actually going to be reacting to a video. This is a little bit different than most of our other interviews. We're going to be reacting to a video from Meet Kevin. I know you know a little bit more about these two than I do. You want to tell us what this video might be a little bit about?
Meet Kevin, anyone that watched his videos, he's very smart. He was one of those people that made a lot of money on stocks in the last year. He likes the tech-heavy stocks, the growth-heavy stocks, but he likes to hold. Through the ups and downs, he likes to hold. He doesn't really sell. And then we've got the gentleman in the beard in this video is a Doge millionaire. I don't know if he's still a millionaire with the pullback in the prices, but between the two of them, they're two very well-known people that are like team hold no matter what.
Holdling or the Hodl team?
Yeah, holding.
Awesome. All right, so that's a little breakdown of what we're about to watch, and we'll be pausing it throughout the video and just doing a little bit of I know you're a crypto analyst, we'll be analyzing the video as well. So let's go ahead and get started with, it's a Meet Kevin video about Dogecoin. It's called Dogecoin is Going to 250 is the title of this YouTube video.
Let's go for a walk, and I want to talk a little bit, okay? So the first time we talked and really sort of met was on a FaceTime call on Graham's podcast, where I had suggested maybe sell a little just so you don't have to work for like the next 10 years. Cover your salary for the next 10 years. Yes. Did you sell anything?
I have not sold anything since our conversation. You know what they were saying in the comment section?
What's that?
They were like, Pro to Doge was holding strong till he got to the final boss.
So we the whole point of Doge is holding strong until we get to the final boss. I know a lot of the Doge millionaires or possible millionaires, for those who actually sold. A lot of them, aren't necessarily the most savvy stock investors, most experienced stock investors. So it sounds like this guy, Meet Kevin, was telling him to sell, and this other guy who was holding Dogecoin didn't.
Yeah, and the thing is with Meet Kevin, in his personal accounts, he likes to hold no matter what, and he likes to call us that like to sell paper-handed sissy babies because we sell and we cut we cut our losses. And this guy and Mr. Hodler, Doge Hodler, he held. How much money did he lose out on? I think they explain in this video, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of folks call this like the meme style investing. Does this feel like you are like fighting for society who's with you and against the society that's like, I'm against you? I want you to sell. What does it feel like to you?
I feel like it's honestly gotten to the point where it's not just about me making money with Doge anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's truly gotten to the point where it seems like people from all walks of life, from everywhere, financially, geographically, have come together because they want to make a change. They want to make a change to the way we know things, as far as economy, as far as fiat currency, as far as just the way the world works, and they don't like that. So it was definitely sparked by Gamestop. And we got to see the power in the people. And so it's almost like at this point, me holding on to Doge is like more important than anything because I'm giving power to the people. I'm doing it for the people. This is for the people. So,
oh boy, there is so much to be said about that. So what's funny about that is in Pennybois University we have this new trading psychology course. We have this huge personality test that you can take that kind of tells you, like, obviously it doesn't tell you what type of trader you are, but it helps you kind of realize what type of trader you are. And one of the other options that I actually got is called socially responsible trader. And basically, one of the faults of a socially responsible trader is that they trade based off what their beliefs are, and what they believe in and all that kind of stuff. Like for me, I was one of those hodlers at one point with AMC, and I could have lost. I got lucky, but I could have lost a lot of. It definitely was not smart with the way that I held, just because it's like, oh, let's give it to the man, fight against the man and all that kind of stuff, and using my social issues to kind of dictate how I trade and how I use my money, which isn't a really great way of of trading and making decisions. Should be making it based off a technical fundamental analysis and logic, as opposed to like, oh, like everyone's doing it, so I have to do it kind of deal. What do you say about what he was talking about as far as holding because it's like his need, he needs to, and it's it's a social justice kind of deal.
Well, first of all, if you want to save the world and you want to, social justice and social inequality, go volunteer at your local voting centers. Go volunteer and take care of puppies at the shelters and adopt a dog and this and that. Like, to say you're for the greater good, social inequalities between people that are, working class and the rich by letting yourself stay poor by not taking your profits defeats the whole argument of his video. If you're really for about a change and this and that, why are you in the stock market if it's not at all about the money, or in crypto or anything else? To not take profits and say this is all about, fighting for the little guy and this and that. You should take profits if you're fighting for the little guy. I mean, let's be real. Like AMC today, currently, right now, AMC is running hot. It's hitting highs of January. If you held and bought at 10 and held and missed the profit run up of 100% in January because you're going to hold, and then you watched it run last month and you held again and run last week where it ran to 15, 16 and held again, when are you going to take profits? You could have done sold and owned double the amount of shares if you would have sold at the peaks. I mean, these videos, these people, like, I love someone like Trades. I love his energy, this and that. But like, what the AMC ape army, like, let's be real. Why are we here? You aren't the trades. You know why he's doing this? He's doing this because he thinks he can make more money by being the face of Doge HODL than make him on the stock. Because everybody else, if they really needed the money and it's his life-changing profits, you're going to sell. He's making a name for himself by saying to hold no matter what. That's why he's doing it. It's not for the greater good of man. It could be a little bit, but let's be real.
Well, and you're totally right. I'm looking at the chart right now. It had that big run up. You could have sold, made a bunch of profit, and put that profit into a bigger share on the next. When it took that dip, you could have bought at the bottom with more money now because you already took profits, and then just rinse and repeat kind of deal, as opposed to just holding and letting your money sit forever. You could have been making money during those ups and down periods.
It's one of the things with at least the stock market right now. Yeah. It feels like everyone shifted over to crypto. I'm like, oh man, we got to buy the dip, but the dip keeps dipping. Okay, so what happens? Okay, because here I am, I'm buying Tesla, man. Okay, and I'm getting reamed right now. All right, I'm buying the dip on Tesla, and I get reamed every day. Yeah. So I'm out of money to keep buying the dip. Okay, what happens if that same kind of crap happens to the Doge, man? At what point?
Well, that's interesting that he's talking about that, because this was probably made a couple weeks ago or something like that. But right now, crypto did have a little bit of a dip per se. So what is your take on this current dip? Is this like he's talking about, like, if it keeps dipping? Do you think that's something that's going to happen with crypto, or is this time to buy the dip and hold?
He's in a different category because he is a multi-millionaire. Okay, he can afford. He figures, oh well, I'm not going to touch this money for 20 years, and that's great. If you're not a day trader and this and that, and you want to hold and put stuff in and you don't check it every month. But for people that are active in the stock market day in and day out, to not sell Tesla at 900 and pick it back up at 560 proves you don't like money, or you don't like making money, or you have so much money you don't care about making less money, because we did have a Doge dip. So his Doge is worth about half of what it's worth when I think this video came out, probably around the Saturday Night Live time, where it ran up to 75 cents and now it's down to 34. He lost over half his money in that. Is he still holding? We don't know. He might be. He probably is, because he's making. That's the thing you have to remember with these YouTube videos and Meet Kevin and Roaring Kitty. Roaring Kitty, AMC Revolution. He sold. He started with like 50 G's, $50,000 last year, and he ran it up so hot. He liked the stock, and that's where this came from, and he was actually a Gamestop, not AMC, but same point.
Same thing,
He liked the stock, so he kept adding in it, but he was doing options plays. He was investing at the right time. He was using a strategy behind it, and when it peaked in January, he sold like $24 million worth. So this whole HODL army thing for the greater good of God, come on. The people that are screaming and telling you to hold are the ones because you're holding their bags. So no. And you know, the crypto dip is very real. If you take someone's advice who's so rich they're out of touch with reality to hold through 600% on Ethereum Classic, 600% on Doge, 200% on Matic, 100% on ADA, and the list goes on and on and on and on. What are you doing in crypto or the stock market if your main purpose isn't to make money?
But no, I feel like no matter what happens, I'm going to hold strong, I'm going to hold tough, and yeah, we're going to just kind of, diamond hand through it.
So I want to know, you said this started with Gamestop. Like, were you in on this Gamestop run, or did you kind of watch this and then decide I got to be part of the next one? Or because you went into Doge, beginning of February?
End of January into February. Yep.
That's right after the GameStop blow up.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the timing is perfect. Did you get into Doge because of the GameStop?
I bought into GameStop.
Ah, okay.
I put in about $20,000 in GameStop.
All right.
I lost a lot of money in GameStop, but that's because I bought in when it was about $320. The very next day, Robinhood
FOMO too. You're a FOMO chaser.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Emotional trader. That's what that is.
Down, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so, I mean, you lost on GameStop, but then you went up for another bet?
There's a huge difference between Doge and GameStop.
Okay. Oh, you're going to have to explain that one, because most people watching are going to be like, they're both on the meme ride. Okay, tell me what you got.
Let's explain the difference. So GameStop is the little guy versus the big guy, right?
Okay.
So we got
the
retail,
suits and the shorts.
Exactly. We got retail investors going against the hedge funds, right? These are billionaires. These are people that if you make money, they lose money, right? So it's in their best interest to stop you any way they can, especially given the fact that Robinhood is associated with these hedge funds. So that's how the disabled buy button happens. So when you look at Doge, there is no hedge fund. There's nobody going against us. There's no, if we make money, there's no super rich guy over there losing a ton of money. There's nobody against.
There's no Citadel trying to screw you.
Exactly.
What do you have to say about that?
This, I absolutely disagree. Look at the flash crash of last week, okay? I think Bitcoin touched under 30,000 for sure. I mean, we had ADA touched like $1.10. Every crypto crashed at the same exact moment. Did everybody have a group conscious decision in the entire world to sell it that second? No. Big money controls crypto too. That is absolutely untrue. Big money controls crypto. And as far as Doge, which he explains as the people's coin, well, there's about only 30 people that own about 70% of Doge. If any of them decide to sell, you're screwed. You're losing 20%, 30%, 50%. That's even more power than the capital than the hedge funds have in the stock market.
The people aren't the ones who own the majority of the coin. Like you said, it's a few really rich people.
If you think the hedge funds aren't controlling crypto too, with the kind of gains we've seen, you're living in denial. You think their money's not sitting there too at this point. Come on.
Right. Well, yeah, a lot of these people who the Doge warriors, they talk a lot, but they don't have experience like you do in the actual market and outside of a short squeeze here and there or a pump and dump.
And I know you're going to diamond hand this, but what happens if we get this crypto winter people talk about, okay? The prices go down and they just keep going down. We get an S&P correction, a stock correction, everything goes down, and then we get a recovery, okay? And I know we're making an analogy here. We don't know what's going to happen, but let's say we've got an Amazon Prime truck coming at us. Let's say crypto doesn't recover, okay? It's the Amazon, it's the Facebook, it's the Tesla that recovers, but crypto doesn't. And we're in this 2-year winter. When do you say it's time for me to take some profits and just live a little?
You think we're going to get one of those winters, the crypto winters?
Just the fact it was bought up so quickly, it showed the strength of crypto that immediately was able to pop back up. We do have to be careful of it, like a double bottom per se. We're not out of the woods yet. This is not the point where I'm opening positions. There is some holds I've had when I bought at the bottom last week, or a couple things I held because I missed the flash crash and I missed being able to get profits. But you better believe I sold my Ethereum over 4,000. You better believe I sold my Ethereum Classic at 170 level. I mean, it makes no sense not to. So I mean, I don't believe a crypto winter is coming. Crypto's just too big. Nothing like the crash of 2018. 2018, 9 out of 10 people never even heard of Bitcoin before. I mean, let's be real.
Okay. So now Elon Musk, Friday, before SNL, he put out a warning going, hey, be careful, okay? I mean, isn't it possible that while maybe this meme investing can be associated with, 10 people like you who really hit it big, but then it's also associated with thousands of people who were like you with GameStop, where you miss big and lose big?
I mean, the chances are there, on either side of the spectrum. I feel like what he said was smart, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be financially responsible, especially when you're going on a skit comedy show, talking about Dogecoin. Like, nobody knows, okay, how serious is he? Like, is this a joke? Is this not? Like, you know what I mean? So, of course, I feel like that was really smart of him to say that. And yeah, ultimately, we're all responsible for our own actions. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. And you really shouldn't put in as more than you can afford to lose. So,
but you put in everything.
I'm different. I'm not the same type of person.
Okay, but you only put in 25 into Doge, and then you came up with over $100,000. I'm sorry, you put in 25 into GameStop.
I put in 20,000 into GameStop.
Okay, so you put in 20,000 into GameStop, but over 100,000 into Doge. Why didn't you put in over 100,000 into GameStop?
I had stocks in Tesla. The majority of my stocks were in Tesla, in Uber, in Carnival Cruise Lines. I had some Nikola. I had like when I went into GameStop, I wasn't gonna sell out of everything. I was just putting a little bit into GameStop.
That was some extra cash you had.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I wasn't planning on selling everything and just going all in on anything. It wasn't until all my research on Doge and my bullish thesis and everything I came across that I was like, you know what, I'm going all in.
Oh, so you sold your other stocks to go in
Tesla,
on Doge.
Uber, Carnival Cruise Lines, GameStop, AMC at the time, at a loss.
Oh my gosh.
Is that something you would recommend to people watching to sell everything, go all in on one stock?
I mean, no, you never want to go all in on one stock. Overall, he sold sustainable good stocks like Tesla to throw all his money into Doge, which did take off. And don't get me wrong, I have made money off Doge, but here's the difference. When it ran up to 25, from 6 cents to 25 on that Sunday overnight, I sold. I let it bounce back to 10 cents. When it 15, I think it went, then it ran to 45. I sold again. I let it bounce back to 25 cents. Ran to 73. I sold. We actually hit the top right on a Pennybois live. A Big Quench hit the top right there live on the stream and said, let's sell right now. And it was the top and I sold then too. But, so every time I bought back in, it's not that I don't believe in Doge or I don't believe it could have longevity. It's that make your money. Make your money. I made 15,000% on AMC calls now that it's running up to $28 as we're making this.
Wow.
I utilized these meme stocks, these meme coins, and I made money off them. I even bought into SafeMoon with a ridiculous 11% slippage and everything else, and I made money. I sold. It's the hodling aspect. It's the don't sell no matter what because somehow this is about the greater good of man. That's where I get off the boat because the people that are screaming that the loudest are taking profits. Are saying hold on all these websites and all that, and they're taking profits. I mean, the original hodler was Roaring Kitty. He took profits at the peak of the GameStop run up. He took profits at over $400. All right. He left some in, and I get it. When you turn 50,000 into 48 million and kind of do start somewhat of a revolution in that. I can understand why he left 18 million in. I mean, that's understandable. But for someone who this is life-changing money, who puts $500 and $1,000, $5,000 in, and watch it run up to $100,000, watch it run up 1,500% if you invested when he did, and not take some money out, you are not evil for selling. You are not evil for taking some profits that will change your life. Okay, you know, I could get with like this, like we need something to unite us. It was a weird year with the election and COVID and just the political divide. It was a weird year. So people were clamoring. Everybody's at home too. Everybody was more active on social media. Everybody's more active. Weeble, like, you know, Weeble chats are they're popping. You are crucified on a Weeble chat if you sell. That is crazy. Don't ever let other people guilt you about what you do to make yourself more financially solvent and better off in your future for yourself, your children, your future, your retirement. And that's where I disagree with him. It's almost like he's shaming people who want to make money, and that's crazy. And I don't agree with going all in on one thing. Absolutely not.
Thinking the altcoin season can last? Is this something that in 10 years from now we've got all these altcoins and you've got, you know, I don't know, 10, 20 different ones that have $100 billion market caps? Or is this going to be a survival of the fittest kind of thing where you're just left with the top two?
I feel like there will be altcoins in the future. I feel like it's a combination of both of those things. Okay. I feel like there is a survival of the fittest element to it, right? Because not all of these poo-poo dookie coins can last forever. You know what I mean? Like they're going to pop up and they're going to go down. So it's a combination of survival of the fittest. And yeah, it's probably going to be, at the end of the day, it'll probably be top 5, top 10 coins out there that people are going to be using.
You agree with that as far as the because right now there are a million coins out there with all these crazy names and anyone can create one. You think eventually it's just going to kind of turn into just a couple few?
Yes, I think that there's going to be as time goes on, we'll have much more substantial, validated, verifiable coins than we do now. Like take some, you know, if you're in Coinbase Pro or Voyager, they go through an audit process to get to that point. If they made it to that point, you know, it's more solid than something called, you know, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood that you get on Pancake Swap. You know what I mean? Because anyone can make a coin. Anyone could go and make a coin and put it out. And if you have a good PR team and you're good at making flashy web design and editing a video up, people be like, wow, they're legit. You know what I mean? And it's just, look at SafeMoon. SafeMoon is a perfect example of this. All right, it pumped up. People were going crazy for SafeMoon. It went up like 800%. There was money to be made. But if you it's funny, if you go Google Trends SafeMoon, at the peak of when SafeMoon was at the peak of people talking about it and the hits on all the trend markers you have, whether it's Facebook or Google or this or that, the same day as the day it crashed 80%. Go figure. Why is that? There's always money to be made. To say one coin is superior to another as far as the ability to run at any given time, yeah, that's where social media comes into play a little bit. There's going to always be coins that can rob you blind, and you're safe-ish for the most part if you go to the major exchanges like Voyager and Coinbase and you know, and learn what you're doing and study the charts.
What was your mentality when you started with stocks?
When I started with stocks, when I first purchased Tesla, I kept jumping at every profit that I made, right? So let's say I buy into Tesla and then it goes up a percentage and I just made $1,000 the next day, right? I'm thinking like, wow, it takes me 2 weeks to make $1,000. I just made it in 5 minutes. Let me take it. Let me take it out before it's gone.
Right.
So I take all my money out, right? And then the next day, I put my money back in and then it drops, right? And I lose the money, right? Or the earnings call comes around and I'm like, oh, I think Tesla killed it. They probably sold a bunch of cars. So let me just keep all my money in it. And then it happens. They fell short. The stock drops, right? And then I lose a bunch of money. Or something else happens, a Cybertruck. Here's a good example.
Yeah.
Cybertruck comes out, right? And I'm like, Cybertruck's gonna kill it. Everybody's gonna love the Cybertruck. It's gonna be amazing. Let me put all my money in it. So I put all my money in a Tesla, right? It's about $350, right?
Yep.
The window cracks. Right? It's a meme, right? Everybody laughs at it. And
it sounds like his stock trading was very much even meme oriented, if that makes sense, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just what he was speaking about with Tesla there shows right there that he is 100% a FOMO trader. There's a difference between when you have a long hold and you do let it go through, and he's using Tesla as an example, which is the epitome of a long hold stock to describe a swing trade type thing. Now, when you have something like the FAMI that ran from 30, it had that 80% drop, and then it ran from like 33 cents to 45 cents. Of course you're going to sell, because the stock ran more than it should for the fundamentals of the stock. Tesla fundamentals and their future growth is phenomenal. So for him to talk about selling in that way with Tesla, there's his first mistake. You have to find the difference between momentum trades, and fundamentally sound stock that you believe in long term. Holding and fundamental long term holds are very, very different.
Yeah, and it sounds like he was one of those people who does the earnings plays and tries to guess what's going to happen because of earnings. It seems like he's just going fishing, just like hoping for a bite, and that's definitely not how a long someone who wants to trade consistently.
Exactly, and even Kevin, like the look on Kevin's face a few times, like with none of the points he made in this entire video argued or gave any solid analogies of what it actually means to be aware of what's going on in the market, knowing the fundamentals. Everything, the epitome of this video is he is an emotional trader.
Right.
Everything he said had backs that statement, which is the first lesson you learn in any stock 101 class, is take your effing emotions out of it.
Yeah, that's literally for Pennybois University. We have 22 classes. The first 5 are all trading psychology because of just that. So a lot of people, they watch people like this, we're watching right now, make $1 million and do this and say, and then they were like, oh, I want to do that, so I'll listen to this guy, and they put their hard-earned money. These guys are putting in, they made $1 million, so they're putting in money into these stocks, so they don't care if they lose or not. Whereas if you put, like not you, but like average Joe puts in like a whole bunch of money trying to follow one of these guys and they lose, it could be a big deal for them. So that's why it's better to trade carefully, have a risk to reward ratio, in mind, have a plan and all that. If you do plan on consistently making money, consistently being a trader, and and making sure that you are managing your risk, because your downside, because these guys became millionaires at the same time. Not Kevin per se, but the Doge holder or a hodler or whatever you want to call him. He might be a millionaire, but he put a lot of money into one stock. If Doge did what it did recently, then he would have been the opposite of millionaire.
There's a lot of luck. There's a lot of luck in the stock market, but there's a reason we learn the emotion before even how to read a candle on the chart, because of the chasing the FOMO. And that's why you have to take a lot of these videos in an entertainment standpoint, or realize the amount of money they're trading with is just purely different, which means a lot.
Like, God forbid someone watched this video, because I don't know when it came out, probably like a couple weeks ago, but God forbid that they watched this video and they saw this guy's a millionaire, he went all in Doge. Maybe I'll do the same thing, and they did that, and then SNL happened, and now they're down their life savings. So, you gotta be careful about who you listen to, for sure.
Get some profit and then wait for a dip, and then, you know what I mean? Like that double dutch, that jumping in and jumping out, you lose money in the long run.
Well, so talk about that, because it's so common for people now to go,
that's just wrong.
No. You gotta get in, you gotta get out, you gotta do these weekly option. You're in Doge for the long haul.
Yeah.
You're not trying to do this anymore. So you're saying you've changed your mentality. You don't care about the little fluctuations anymore.
That's why I laugh off when I lose $1 million or I lose $400,000, because I know in the long
run
run
it's
going to go back up.
So why don't you diversify now? What's stopping you?
I got to hold now. Once I take some money out, then I'm going to start figuring out where to put it.
I thought you weren't taking money out. Beginning of the video, you weren't taking money out till 10 million.
10 months.
Dogecoin Pro, when he's just calling himself the Dogecoin. I got lucky.
yeah, it should be the Dogecoin. I got lucky because every trading move I made was absolutely exactly the opposite of what fundamental trading is all about. And you know, if you want to break it, he talks about, you know, dipping in and dipping out, you're going to lose money on the long run. It's actually the opposite. When you dip in and you dip out and you anticipate and you read the charts and you see when it's oversold, and when it's oversold you buy, and when it's overbought you sell. When you follow those fundamentals of trading, you make money. If you take 2% a day, all right, and you buy, many people have said that, this and that. If you start out with $1,000 and you take 2% profits a day, you'll be a millionaire within like 2 years. And that's with 2% profits a day. This isn't with, we're not talking about expecting 20% on every scalp or every day or every play. We're talking about selling for a profit consistently, minimizing your risk, and having a well diversified trading approach with what you're investing in, with crypto and stocks. And you know, if you do those things and keep your emotions out of it, the opposite of what he's saying, you know, there's a lot of money to be made.
Definitely. Well, Amy, this has been really fun. This is my first reaction, but I don't know if you ever done one of these before. But I had a lot of fun doing this, though. I think that you're right. I think we should get that Doge Coin Millionaire and do one of his videos next.
We'll find some other ones.
Yeah,
maybe some trades.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. I will see you on Friday. Every Friday now we have a new fun little segment going on at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's called the Crypto Weekend Watch List, where we go over some crypto to look after for the weekend, because I know the stock market's closed, but crypto is not. So definitely be sure to check that out. And that'll be on this YouTube. So once again, thank you, Amy, for joining.
Thank you.
And we will see y'all next time. But until then, I hope that y'all make some bread.